Hello and welcome to my review of Black Phoenix Alchemy Labs Angeronalia. I hope I'm pronouncing that correct. It might be Angeronalia or Angeronalia, I'm not too sure. I can't find how to pronounce it, so sorry about that. So yes, this one came out in 2007. It's a limited edition one that came out at Christmas time, or Yultide as they call it. And this one is based on or themed around a Roman festival, Angeronalia, that's what the name of the festival is. I'll read you their description. I'm out of breath for some reason, I'm just walking back and forth. So yeah, I'll read you what it says. It's not too much of a description. It says, Angeronalia, also called Diwalia, is a Roman festival that takes place at the winter solstice. This celebration honours the goddess Angerona, and I might pronounce that wrong as well, I'm not sure, it might be Angorona. The Lady of Silence and Secrets is also she who stands as the protector of Rome, and she is represented with her mouth bound or with her index finger held over her mouth, commanding silence. On this day, the goddess was implored to grant her children strength and protection, and as it was believed that Angerona and Voluptia, the goddess of joy and pleasure, were one and the same, sacrifices were made at the temple to Voluptia in order to drive sorrow, regret and pain from the hearts of the people. So it gives you a little bit of background as to what it is. Sacrifices were made. I'm not sure what they've chosen to put in it and why. Maybe it was gifts given to them at the time. I'm not sure. But here's the description of what's in it. So it says, strength, passion and the cleansing fire of joy. And then it's got olive blossom, white nectarine, vibrant blood orange, honey absolute, lemongrass, elemi, sensual patchouli and the quiet purity of gardenia. So this is one that I probably never would have tried. I got this as a free sample with something that I bought from somebody from the forum, and I'm so glad I got some because it's become one of my top 10, and basically I would have glossed over it. It's not one that I probably would have picked. I don't really like lemongrass, it scares me. I always think I'm going to smell like washing up liquid, but this one is pretty incredible, and it's something that's, yeah, as I said, become one of my favourites. So I'll show you the label. It's got a picture, I don't know if you can see it. It looks like columns. I'll try and get it closer. Like Roman columns. Yeah, that's all it is really. And it says Angeronalia, Yultide 2007. I'm not sure it's been released again since. I think it was just the once, but as I always say, you can get it from the forum if you're joined to it or want to join to it. So I've had it drying on this side for a little while, but I'll put it on this side. This one, I will say, it changes a lot from when it's wet to when it's dry. It's very different. So when I first smell it, sorry, slight interruption there, I do apologise. So yeah, when I first smell it, I get the citruses straight away, all of the citrusy elements that are in this. So the nectarine, the blood orange, and so bear with me, just open this up again. Yeah, and kind of lemongrass, because that is quite citrusy as well. And I'll just quickly tell you about elemi. Elemi is a resin, in fact, and it comes from a tree that only grows in the Philippines. But what it is it's a very light resin. It's not kind of like myrrh or myrrh or say labdanum that are very thick. This is a very light coloured resin, and it's supposed to have a kind of lightly spicy citrus feel. So that probably adds to this as well. It is, when you first smell it, quite citrusy. And I've come to discover olive blossom, what it actually is. I don't know if anybody buys Lush products or has ever been there, but they have or had a shower gel called the olive branch, and this, when it dries, when it softens, starts to really smell like olive blossom. Olive blossom to me almost feels a little bit like white musk. It has a kind of very clean, cottony kind of vibe to it, and that's what really comes forward in this. It changes a lot from the beginning, which, as I said, is quite citrusy, but it smells kind of like an aromatherapy oil. It's not a typical citrus smell. It's really, really nice. But when it changes, it's a whole new perfume to me. The opening notes are bang, and then they don't go, but they fade really quick, and what emerges is the vibe I get from it is something really glamorous. It smells very rich, and don't be shocked, but it kind of reminds me, it has similar tones to Coco Mademoiselle by Chanel. I can hear 100 Chanel fans going, oh, whoa, craziness, how can you say that? But it does. I've smelled Mademoiselle enough times to know what it smells like. And this, when it kind of wafts to me, it's got a slightly Chanel-esque vibe. It's really weird. I didn't expect that to happen with this, but it does, and that's why I find it so beautiful. Obviously, it's a Black Phoenix perfume, so it has its own way of smelling, like a Black Phoenix perfume, but it just reminds me of something quite glamorous, and it gets so much more well-rounded, and the olive blossom gives it that kind of clean, white, musky almost vibe. So it says in the description that it's got patchouli in it, and gardenia. The gardenia in this, sometimes in Black Phoenix perfumes it can be really massive and really pungent, but it says here the quiet purity of gardenia. I think it's got just enough, it's got a tinge, just to give it that floweriness that it needs, but it's not, I wouldn't say it's a flowery perfume. The olive blossom smells clean, so it kind of smells clean and soft and glamorous more than it smells of gardenia or citrus when it dries. So that's it really. Apart from that, I would say that the patchouli in this is really, really understated as well. Patchouli can be very dry, earthy, sometimes grassy smelling, and this isn't that. It's more smooth, and it starts to feel like a one-note perfume. Like, it's so incredibly well blended that it just turns into a real glamorous perfume, as opposed to something that's multifaceted or you can pick stuff out. But it mainly feels like olive blossom. So that's it really. Quite a jumbled review, but it's an unusual one, going from citrusy to glamorous. But that's it. Yeah, that's Angeronalia. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, but that's it. I hope to see you guys soon. Thank you for watching, as always, and if you like me, please subscribe. Thanks, bye.